A Bed by the Stove continued. Page 26. Laura said scornfully, "I've heard of that book. That woman who wrote it." "Mrs. Stowe, Harriet Beecher Stowe," Joel said Joel said the name with a note of reverence. "Well, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Uncle Jim says that book's all made up. All of it. Nobody treats slaves the way they're treated in that book." "Sometimes they're treated worse." In silence, Laura began to clear the table. She could hear her brother's quick footsteps overhead in the small attic that was above the kitchen. He soon came downstairs carrying an old rag carpet. "This used to be on the floor in Laura's room," he said. "Before she came, our stepmother put down a new carpet. This is old, but it's clean." Martin took it with a smile, declaring, "Bed for a king." He folded it and laid it on the floor behind the cook stove near the cellar entrance. Dropping onto it, he gave a weary sigh. Joel looked doubtful. "It looks comfortable enough, but—" With his eyes, he measured the distance from the rug bed to the cellar door. "If you hear anyone at the back door, you run to the cellar." He glanced at Laura. "I wish—" Laura knew what he wished, but she couldn't bring herself to offer to give up her room. She had agreed to let Martin stay in the house, and that was more than she should have done. No matter what Joel and Bert said, it was wrong to break the law, and dangerous too. She looked down at Martin, already half asleep, and felt a pang of sympathy for him. He was good-humored and patient, and brave. Taking a candle, she lighted it from the lamp flame and retreated with it to the door at the foot of the stairs, where she stood uncertainly with one slippered foot on top of the other. She wished she could find words to make Joel and Bert and Martin understand how she felt. No doubt they thought she was mean not to give up her room. Finally she said, "Well, good night." Joel and Bert echoed her good night, but Martin raised his head as he murmured, "Thank you, miss, for letting me stay." Laura said gently, "Sleep well." In her room, she set the candle on the dresser. Where was the trap door, she wondered. Full of curiosity, she could not wait until morning to see the hidden room. She lifted a corner of the carpet, rolled it back, and on hands and knees explored the bare floor. There would be a ring or handle of some kind to raise the door, she reasoned, and there would be hinges. Yet, though she examined most of the area of the room, she found no telltale signs. Perhaps it was under the heavy dresser or the wardrobe where her clothes were hung. At last, she smoothed back the carpet. Tomorrow in daylight, she might have better success. Downstairs, a door closed. Joel must be leaving. She went to the window that faced west, overlooking the side yard, and watched a tall shadow race across the lawn to the edge of the bushes. Joel's face shone white against the shrubbery. When he moved beyond her line of vision, she hurried to the front window in time to see him turn onto the ridge road toward Lewiston. Once he had been her best friend, she thought, as she knelt with her arms on the sill. But now they were miles apart, farther even than when she had been living in Virginia. Laura sighed and got to her feet, but just before she dropped the curtain into place, she saw someone move from the bushes on her left and hurry lightly down the road toward Lewiston. Someone was following Joel.